Hello, my fellow explorers, my radiant souls, my partners in this exhilarating dance of existence. Tonight, I stand before you to share a vision that sets your heart ablaze, fuels your dreams, and dares you to live with unstoppable courage, embrace the infinite, live boldly, love fiercely, leave no dream unchased. This isn't just a motto, it's a vibrant call to awaken your spirit, shatter the chains of doubt, and step into a life bursting with passion, purpose, and fearless authenticity. Let me begin by asking you a question. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Not just going through the motions, not just checking boxes on a to-do list, but alive, heart pounding, soul soaring, fully present in a moment where you felt connected to something greater than yourself. If you're struggling to answer, don't worry. Most of us have moments where we feel disconnected, stuck, or trapped by the expectations of others, by our own doubts, or by the stories we've told ourselves about who we are and what we're capable of. But tonight, I'm here to tell you that you can break free, you can live fearlessly, you can live without regrets, and you can live without boundaries that confine your infinite potential. The illusion of fear. Let's start with fear. Fear is the greatest obstacle to living a life of no regrets and no boundaries. Fear is a trickster, a shapeshifter. It disguises itself as caution, as practicality, as being realistic. It whispers in your ear, you're not good enough, you're too old, you're too young. You don't have enough money, time, or talent. But let me tell you something. Fear is not real. It's an illusion, a construct of the mind. It's a story you've been told, or one you've told yourself, that keeps you small, keeps you safe, keeps you from stepping into the fullness of who you are. Think about it. What is fear? It's not a tangible thing you can hold in your hands. It's a thought, a projection of what might happen. It's a ghost that haunts you, but it only has power if you give it power. The moment you decide to face it, to walk through it, it begins to dissolve. Fear is like a shadow. It seems large and imposing, but when you shine the light of awareness on it, it shrinks until it disappears entirely. I remember a time in my own life when fear had a grip on me. I was a young man, a professor, successful by all outward measures. I had a good job, a family, a home, but inside I was restless. I felt a calling, a pull towards something greater, a desire to write, to speak, to share the truths I was discovering about life and the human spirit. But fear told me, don't rock the boat, Wayne. You've got a good thing going. Why risk it? What if you fail? What will people think? That fear kept me stuck for years, living a life that was comfortable but not fulfilling. One day I made a decision. I decided that I would rather fail trying to live my truth than succeed at living someone else's version of my life. I started writing, speaking, and sharing my message, even when my hands shook and my voice wavered. And you know what? The moment I took that first step, the fear began to lose its power. I realized that the only thing holding me back was my belief in the fear itself. So, I ask you, what are you afraid of? What's stopping you from living the life you were born to live? Is it the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being enough? Whatever it is, I invite you to see it for what it is, an illusion. And when you see it as an illusion, you can choose to step through it. You can choose to live fearlessly, living without regrets. Let's talk about regrets. Regret is the shadow of a life unlived. It's the ache in your heart when you look back and think, what if I had taken that chance? What if I had said yes to that opportunity? What if I had followed my heart? Regret is the price we pay for letting fear win, for staying small, for choosing safety over growth. I've met so many people who carry regrets like heavy baggage. They regret not pursuing their dreams, not speaking their truth, not taking risks, not loving fully. And the saddest part is that these regrets often come from moments when they let fear dictate their choices. They didn't act because they were afraid of failing, afraid of looking foolish, afraid of stepping into the unknown. But here's the truth. You don't have to live with regrets. You can start today, right now, to live in a way that leaves no room for what-ifs. Living without regrets doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes. It doesn't mean every choice you make will lead to success. It means you choose to act from a place of courage, authenticity, and trust in yourself. It means you honor your soul's calling, even when it scares you. Let me share a story. Years ago, I met a woman named Sarah at one of my workshops. She was in her 60s, and she came up to me with tears in her eyes. She told me she had always wanted to be a painter, but her parents had told her it wasn't practical, so she became an accountant instead. For decades, she worked in a job she didn't love, suppressing her creativity, telling herself she'd paint someday. But someday never came, and now she was filled with regret for all the years she spent living someone else's dream. I looked at Sarah and said, "It's not too late. You're here now. You can pick up a paintbrush today." And you know what? She did. She started painting, taking classes, and sharing her art with the world. She told me later that it was the first time in her life she felt truly free. She let go of the regret by choosing to act in the present moment, by saying yes to her soul's longing. So I ask you, what's your someday? What's the dream you've been putting off? What's the thing you've always wanted to do but haven't because of fear, doubt, or the belief that it's too late? It's not too late. You are not too old, too young, too busy, or too anything. The only thing standing between you and a life without regrets is your willingness to act now, to say yes to yourself, to choose courage over comfort. Breaking down boundaries now, let's talk about boundaries, or rather the absence of them. When I say no boundaries, I'm not talking about living recklessly or without respect for others. I'm talking about breaking down the self-imposed boundaries that keep you from living fully. These are the invisible walls you've built around your life, the beliefs, the limitations, the stories that tell you what you can and cannot do. These boundaries come from many places: society, family, culture, past experiences. Maybe you were told you're not smart enough to go back to school. Maybe you were taught that certain dreams are only for other people. Maybe you've convinced yourself that you're too broken, too flawed, too ordinary to live an extraordinary life. But let me tell you something, those boundaries are not real. They are constructs of the mind, just like fear. You are not limited by your circumstances, your past, or what anyone else thinks of you. You are an infinite being, a spark of the divine, a co-creator of your reality. The only boundaries that exist are the ones you accept. And the moment you decide to reject those boundaries, your world expands. Your possibilities become limitless. I want to share a lesson I learned from one of my greatest teachers, my daughter, Serena. When she was a little girl, she had no concept of boundaries. She believed she could do anything: sing, dance, write stories, climb mountains. She didn't know the meaning of impossible. One day, when she was about 5 years old, she came to me and said, "Daddy, I'm going to be an astronaut and a ballerina and a veterinarian." I laughed and said, "That's a lot of things to be." But she looked at me with those big, bright eyes and said, "Why not? I can be anything I want." That moment stayed with me. Children don't have boundaries until we teach them to have boundaries. They don't know what's impossible until someone tells them it is. So, I invite you to reconnect with that childlike part of yourself, the part that believed in infinite possibilities, the part that wasn't afraid to dream big, to love deeply, to live boldly. How do you break down boundaries? You start by questioning the stories you've been told about who you are and what you're capable of. You challenge the voice that says you can't do that. You take small steps outside your comfort zone, and with each step, you expand the edges of your world. You surround yourself with people who lift you up, who believe in your dreams, who remind you of your limitless potential. The power of intention at the heart of fearless living is intention. Intention is the spark that ignites your dreams, the compass that guides your actions, the force that aligns you with the universe. When you set an intention to live fearlessly, to live without regrets, to live without boundaries, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive the opportunities, the people, and the experiences that will help you become the fullest expression of yourself. Intention is not about forcing things to happen. It's about aligning your thoughts, your energy, and your actions with your deepest desires. It's about trusting that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, even when the path is unclear. When you live with intention, you move through life with purpose, with clarity, with a sense of knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Let me give you an example. Many years ago, I set an intention to write a book that would inspire people to live their highest potential. I didn't know how it would happen or if anyone would read it, but I held that intention in my heart. I wrote every day, even when I doubted myself, even when the rejections came. That book was Your Erroneous Zones, and it became a bestseller, touching millions of lives. But it wasn't the book itself that mattered, it was the intention behind it, the intention to serve, to uplift, to share a message of empowerment. So I ask you, what is your intention? What do you want to create, to experience, to become? Take a moment right now to close your eyes and feel that intention in your heart. See it, feel it, believe in it, and then trust that the universe will meet you halfway. Trust that when you take one step toward your dreams, the universe takes 10 steps toward you. The practice of fearless living fearlessly, is not a one-time event. It's a practice, a daily commitment to show up for yourself, to choose love over fear, to act in alignment with your highest self. Here are a few practices to help you live fearlessly, without regrets, without boundaries. Embrace the present moment. The present moment is where life happens. It's where you have the power to make choices, to take action, to create change. Stop dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to move toward my dreams? Reframe failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey to success. Every failure is a lesson, an opportunity to grow, to refine, to get closer to your goal. When you stop fearing failure, you free yourself to take risks. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. You are not perfect, and you don't need to be. You are enough just as you are. When you make mistakes, forgive yourself. When you fall, get back up. Treat yourself with the same love and encouragement you would offer a dear friend. Surround yourself with inspiration. Seek out people, books, music, and experiences that uplift you, that remind you of your potential, that inspire you to dream bigger. Let go of relationships or environments that drain your energy or dim your light. Take action, no matter how small. You don't need to have it all figured out to start. Take one step, then another, then another. Each step builds momentum, and before you know it, you're running toward your dreams. Trust your inner guidance. You have an inner wisdom, a voice within that knows what's right for you. Learn to listen to it. Trust it. It will never lead you astray. A call to action as I close. I want to leave you with a challenge. Live fearlessly for just one day. Tomorrow, when you wake up, make a conscious decision to act from a place of courage, to say yes to your dreams, to step beyond the boundaries you've set for yourself. Notice how it feels. Notice how the world responds. Notice how your heart expands. You are not here by accident. You are here to shine, to create, to love, to live fully. You are not here to play small, to live with regrets, to be confined by boundaries that don't serve you. You are here to be a light in the world, to inspire others by your courage, to show what's possible when you live fearlessly. So, go out there and live with passion, live with purpose, live with no regrets and no boundaries. The world is waiting for you, and the universe is cheering you on. Thank you, my friends. May you walk this path with courage, with love, and with the fearless spirit that resides within you.